when it comes to dealing with my own depression and anxiety, my options are limited here in China. I can't go to a therapist since an English speaking therapist would be incredibly hard to find, if there's even one in my area. And calling a therapist in Canada would be difficult, even online with Zoom or something, because of the time zone differences. So I've had to rely heavily on coping techniques and lifestyle changes. I am on an SSRI medication. I'm on Zoloft, which is helping with minimal negative effects. So far, I think the worst ones are weight gain and minor sleep issues, but they aren't bad enough to warrant trying a different medication. And if they keep my panic attacks down, who am I to complain? With my depression, I've been trying my best to stave it off by getting some sunlight every day, as well as taking D tablets. It definitely helps during the winter. I have seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, so in the wintertime I get a lot worse. I also play Animal Crossing every day, which I haven't played today. I need to play it today. Got busy doing other stuff. Um, yes, I'm still playing video game. Like, I'm still playing Animal Crossing. I am that person. I have a lovely island full of blue roses. It's a nice, happy game that brings my mood up. Calling my family every 2 weeks and randomly video calling friends works wonders. I am very lucky that I have so many friends that are night owls. Um, um, it means that there's always a good chance at least one of them is awake. Honestly, just turn stream into gaming stream. Maybe one day I'll just talk about my Animal Crossing.
I don't know. You could always get me to play a random thing while you talk over it.
That's fair. Well, Finnos, day 533. Still can't catch that spider. I don't mean to brag, but I have caught every fish and every bug. And in March, I will be catching the last two sea creatures. And I will have everything but the art section of the museum done. I Sorry, I just had to brag. um Honestly, just having a support system of people helps so much to manage my depression and Animal Crossing. And of course, there's my cat Cora, who's both a wonderful snuggler who keeps my depression down and a major pain in the butt who keeps my frustration up. He has two modes. Um, it all depends on what mood he's in, really. Oh, and, my partner, I guess they help too.
Yay!
I guess. I remember during my first year here, depression hit me so hard because I felt so isolated. But now that I'm settled and have friends here and keep in regular contact with my friends and family back home, it's really helped deal with that isolation and depression. Just in my coping is playing JRPGs. JRPGs are pretty awesome. My favorite, not to be like, you know, that 90s kid, but my favorite is probably like Chrono Trigger or Earthbound. I love them so much. They're so good. Anyways, with my anxiety, um your partner's your stim toy.
Wow.
With my anxiety, I've been doing my best to reduce it in a few ways. The first is to not push myself too hard. If I need to take a break, I take a break. Right, Justin? Chrono Trigger and Earthbound are awesome. I used to forget to eat lunch because I would be so focused on my work that I wouldn't even take a break to eat. I've since stopped doing that because I have medication that I have to take with every meal, and that helps me remember to take lunch. But I've also learned to forgive myself for not being productive every second of every day. I've also been doing yoga, which I know isn't for everyone, but I wanted to find an activity that would get my body moving, but wouldn't get my heart pounding too hard since anxiety had brought my heart rate up. I used to do cardio, but yeah, that would get my heart rate up. So I did yoga. I'm like, hey, this is calming. It's not easy, but but yeah, even if you're not into yoga, just learning the deep breathing exercises can help calm you down. I used it to I've used it to fight off spikes in anxiety, especially when I'm trying to fall asleep or oncoming panic attacks. For some reason, when I lie down in bed to go to sleep, that's when like my heart really starts pounding, or it's just when I notice it because I'm not doing other stuff. It's interesting how just breathing slow and deep can help with calming you down. I've also back on caffeine since caffeine can get the heart going and cause an anxiety spike. I don't drink coffee, but I do drink tea and pop. So I've tried to keep my caffeine intake to 1 or 2 caffeinated drinks a day. Doesn't always work that way, but hey, I am trying. So, is there anything you would like to add as my partner living with me with dealing with my mental health?
Well, it's one of those things where, with both of us having anxiety issues, especially I know mine were a direct result of COVID and what I have now dubbed the week from hell last February. Um, Being aware of it and being aware of what are the signs of oncoming anxiety and attacks and that kind of thing is something that has slowly become kind of a forefront for both of us. When Teresa says that, how would you even know I am having an anxiety attack? There's been multiple times where I look over, see the freeze, and I'm like, oh. And I just set up a spot for them to relax, try to help them calm down, or just at the very worst, I'm getting the lorazepam as the shut off button if things go full blown and it's too much and can't return from. But Teresa's done the same thing for me. Paying attention to me, like I have the very obvious increased breath happen when mine starts coming on. And so I'm very obvious, but then again, uh, everything I do is big and obvious and apparently overblown to the point where my students are like, "What's wrong? What's wrong with what's wrong with him? Why does he always have his shoes off?" I do it like once or twice to get their attention as a joke, and apparently I am very known for that. But it's the same kind of thing. See the phrase?
Not sure what you mean, Wolfenos.
I might have said.
Oh, they said see the freeze, not phrase.
Oh, my apologies. Yes, see the freeze when the lockup happens and Teresa just goes completely still. Yes. To me, that stands out because Teresa is a very, like, lively, active, alive person, always kind of in motion. So when that stops, to me, it stands out. But it's the same kind of thing. Um, Being able to acknowledge it and be aware of what the anxiety effects and triggers are for those around you is pretty important, as well as your own, because if you can feel it coming on, then you have a chance of doing something about it. Now, to be fair, uh,
I'm so sorry, Justin. When I go still, my mom says I'm trying to get pity
uh,
points. Oh, I've dealt with people like that. I am so sorry.
F your couch. Pardon me. No. Trying to get pity points is what a student who forgot to hand in the assignment is like, oh, no, yes, computer had problems. I'm sending a message past midnight. Can I give to you? Going still in the middle of the day when you're feeling an onset of anxiety happens. It just happens. I don't have the same reaction. I don't have the same situation, but it's a symptom that comes out. I know for a fact that I've had a few kids in my classroom who were clearly on the spectrum, and when some of them get really stressed, what do? They freeze up. Yeah, yeah, freezes up. Exactly. It's not about pity. You would much rather not be experiencing this than have a damn section of pity. And in fact, pity would be much more useful because then they'd at least be trying to go, oh no, what's wrong? Can I help? Maybe. At least that would be my perspective. And yeah. So again, I'm very good at ranting, so I'm going to pass it on back.
uh, Thank you so much for that. Um, but yeah, I know my partner has helped me so much. They're the one who helped me with figuring out coping mechanisms to deal with my depression and my anxiety and stuff like that.
I'm very good at thinking about and reflecting on things, considering that's kind of my job a lot.
Yes. Um, so just big thank you from them.